Ho ho ho. It's not even fucking Christmas yet. Why am I doing that? Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Wunzee, and yep, it's been 8 months. A whopping 8 smackaroos since their last video. Now, you may be wondering, like, what are you doing here? Why do you even bother coming back? Well, you know what, you little shit? I decided, why don't I be nice and I give everyone a little Christmas gift, even though we're about a week away from Christmas, and realistically, you shouldn't even be receiving this yet, but I'm gonna give you it anyway. Now, story time. Wait, what do I even call this series? Does this series even have a name? Should we just call it Waffling with Wunzee? You know what? That's what we're gonna call it. All these videos, all these story type videos, we are gonna call them Waffling with Wunzee. I quite like the sound of that. Now, as I am a 19, nearly 20-year-old man, some things, you expect to happen down the way, after you leave college, after you leave school. You usually expect said person to get a job, and well, at the age of 18, yep, it was a fucking year ago now since I last had my first job. I worked at a little place you guys may or may not have heard of called Nando's. Now, if you don't know what Nando's is, if you're living under a rock or you have absolutely no social skills, so you can't go into a Nando's and you can't even order fucking food for yourself, Nando's is I don't even know what it is. I think they told me this at a restaurant, but apparently it's not even a Portuguese style restaurant, even though loads of people say it is. I don't know what it is. It's just a chicken restaurant, alright? That's all it is. I got my first ever job there. Now, how did that happen? Well, I applied on site, went in for an interview, all of that, basic stuff. I'll try and run it down for you, okay? If you've never had a job, I'm gonna try and run it down. Pretty simple. So when you apply on a website or you apply for a job, you typically need a CV, which everyone should have. Now, a CV, pretty much, it's just, all your credentials, like your accomplishments, like, oh, what grades did you get? Did you go to college? Do you have any work experience? And I say yes to the GCSEs, even though I didn't pass them, but I did go. I say yes to the college, even though I only managed to get passes on my college grades. Again, it's still something. And any relevant work experience, no. So essentially, that last part, it fucks you up in like a lot of jobs. If you have no work experience, it really does fuck you up. Now, the only work experience I have is a certain video you guys may or might not know. It's running up on 5 years now. The good old work experience video that all of you seem to love for some reason. I don't know why. I've gone back, I watched it multiple times, and I wondered to myself, where the fuck was my balls at that time? Alright, I was masturbating every day, so I had absolutely no testosterone and no confidence, and that's why I sounded like such a little bitch. Yeah, I really don't. I don't get people who like that video. It's one of my worst videos in my opinion. So many awkward cuts and silences. It's just awful. But anyway, that's for another day, or another month, shall I say. But yeah, I went in, I submitted my CV, and to my surprise, they actually accepted me. So of course, I was over the moon. I was like, woo, I got my first job. I'm going in for my interview, even though I may or may not even get the job in the first place. So interview time came around, which was about I think it was about less than a week later. I got the interview. Went in for the interview. The guy told me, listen, you don't have to come in any fancy clothes. You don't come in, your school shoes and your school trousers and some ugly looking shirt that you found in a charity shop. Just come in, whatever the fuck you want, underpants if you want, and yeah, I'll sit you down for an interview and we'll discuss from there on. So I went in, and I can tell you precisely what I wore to that interview. So I wore some black Air Forces, which red flag already. Well, I wore some black Puma joggers. I don't remember the t-shirt I wore. I wore a Twitch hoodie, which if you're my friend or you know me at all, you may recognize this Twitch hoodie, as it's in, I'd say, 70% of my recent findings, I'm like Bigfoot at this fucking point. Like, if you get a photo of me, chances are I'm always going to be in that Twitch hoodie. And yeah, that's what I remember wearing. I went in, I talked to the guy. I don't really have any issues talking with people. Like, I can like keep a conversation going. Like, a lot of people may think that these videos might have a script or something. I'll be completely honest, I've only ever wrote a script for a video once, and I didn't really like the way it felt too like forced. So typically how I make all these videos is it's just off the top of my head. So I think I've kind of, you know, gathered some sort of conversation skill from just doing YouTube, which might sound ridiculous, but it's what, you know, it's worked to my favor quite a few times. But yeah, I went in, you know, I was pretty comfortable talking to the guy. The guy was really nice. He was discussing to me, you know, oh, what are my interests? I was like, oh, you know, I stream, I do music, I do everything, I guess. Even if I'm not really particularly good at any of them, I still wrote them down because, you know, it's something. And he was just talking to me about why I wanted to, you know, do Nando's. And it, you know, off the top of your head, you might think, okay, so why would you want to work at Nando's? And immediately my head was like, because the first thing you can't say money, okay? As simple as an answer is, you can't just go in and say, yeah, I'm just working here for money. You have to sit down, you have to discuss to them what you can offer the business, and you just have to make it sound convincing and make it sound like working at Nando's is like your dream job, even though you're just there for a bit of cheddar. And what I ended up saying to him is, I've always loved cooking ever since a young age, even though, you know, that's cap. I always liked baking when I was younger, but I would never say I was like interested as a career choice. But yeah, I ended up telling him that I've always liked cooking. It's always been a dream of mine. Yeah, and I say to him, oh, and I kid you not, I remember saying this to him. I remember saying that I can make some of the best scrambled egg he's ever made, and I stand on that point. I tell all of my friends this. I flex it, and they don't believe me, but I can make you some of the best scrambled egg you have ever consumed in your fucking lifetime, and I can bet my goddamn house on that. I can bet every possession I own on it. But yeah, he was like, oh, so what, you're a little Gordon Ramsay, are you? I was like, yeah, you know, I might be. You know, I don't want to toot my own horn or anything, but I reckon I could go toe to toe with the Mr. Ramsay himself. Anyway, you know, the interview went great. I heard back from him a few days later, and he was like, listen, Cameron, you got the job. And I was like, yeah, let's go, baby. Went downstairs, saw my mum, fucking tombstone pile driver there in celebration, walked back in my room, and yeah, I just had a conversation with him over the phone. He was discussing, you know, some of my time. He was like, oh, so you'll come in, we'll give you a uniform, we'll discuss your roles, we'll discuss, you know, your time, your schedule, all that good stuff. So the big moment came, you know, my first day at Nando's. Now, I'll be honest, I don't really remember my first day at Nando's. I don't really remember anything specific, but I do remember there was this one, I think she may have been Romanian, Lithuanian, I can't remember, I'm real sorry. But I remember there's one lady, and she's been working there for like 7 years or some shit, and I was like, and I kind of got diva. I was like, oh god, what if I'm here for 7 years? So I was talking to her, and she was like, oh, she was just discussing everything, she was teaching me how to cook. Here's a little fact that you may or may not know. So the chicken, when you order the chicken in Nando's, it's already pre-cooked, so it comes frozen obviously, and in the back we have an oven, and that'll go in for about, I believe it's 30 to 45 minutes, somewhere about there. But we put loads and loads of these chickens into these ovens. There's about like 4 or 6 of them, and once all the chicken has been cooked and, you know, it's not riddling in salmonella, underneath the grill is like, it's like these loads and loads of these trays, and these trays like really warm, and all the chicken just gets dumped into these trays. And when you need a chicken, you grab a full chicken out, you know, it's been split down the middle or whatever, and it's like, oh, so they want half a chicken, you get your butcher knife, bang, you know, on the chopping table, you know, half a chicken, you know, you get drum, and then you get a thigh, I believe it is. And you may be wondering, okay, so what's the weird part? The weird part is that it's already pre-cooked, and all you have to do is put it on the grill, and then you just put the charred marks on them, and that's what makes it look like it's being done, you know, on a grill. They just char it, even though it's already cooked. And I always found that so bizarre. I was like, oh god, this is like kind of weird. I would always expect it to be done like really nicely, but it's all really like sloppy. I mean, I understand it from like a restaurant point of view, because it's like they're just trying to make money, they're trying to be efficient, but oh god, it was really like, it was weird. It was really weird. I wasn't expecting it. But yeah, anyway, this Lithuanian Romanian lady was, she was teaching me, the ropes, what to do, how to cook the chicken, all the sauces. And the issue is, when you first start, you always have someone with you, and I think you're meant to have someone with you. But for the first day, I was just kind of sat back and just watching them do all of it, which, for a first day, I'll happily take. So yeah, you just kind of sit back and you just watch them. I was just fucking sat there looking like Gustus Gloop, just fucking staring and making all this chicken, and it's just like, I felt like such a tit. But at the same time, I couldn't really complain because I didn't have anything to do for the first day, which I was very lucky with. But yeah, anyway, break time comes, and the cool thing is about working at restaurants is you typically get a free meal for your lunch. Now, I believe it was 30 minutes at lunchtime. It was pretty standard, really. It wasn't anything crazy. It was about 30, I think it was 30-40 minutes. It might have been longer, I can't really remember. I've kind of blocked all of it out of my brain. But yeah, you can make a free meal, and you can like make anything you want, really, as long as you clean up, because I saw a lot of my colleagues make some disgusting looking creations, like they were baked off edibles or something. Like, when you got the munchies, like from smoking, and you make some sort, there's this disgusting creation, like at midnight in your own house. That's pretty much what people were doing. I saw this one girl, and she made, it was like a halloumi stick wrap, and I was just like looking at it in fucking awe. I was like, what the fuck is that creation? And she had like this peeler rice and everything with it. Oh my god, it was fucking, it was mind-boggling. I never did any like crazy shit like that. I would always just make myself like a chicken wrap or something with like some rice on the side. But another really awesome thing, what I really fucking love is unlimited drinks. Yep, when you're literally when you're working, you can be like, alright, I'm just gonna go to get a drink, and they'll be like, okay, and you can just keep filling up your cup with unlimited like soda, and it's fucking amazing. Well, nowadays I typically don't like to consume stuff like that anymore, because I kid you not, I must have been having like 6-7 like cokes a day. But now I go to the gym. I'm gonna discuss that in another video, my whole like gym, yeah bro, I'll discuss my whole gym life in another video. This, I'm not gonna talk about it now. But yeah, let's just say if I worked at Nando's, I could not be consuming liquids or food like I used to. But yeah, a few days pass, and it's pretty bog standard. There's nothing like really crazy. I never really had any crazy stories to tell. The one Romanian lady I actually ended up becoming like pretty good friends with. Nothing like romantic. Okay, don't blow it out of proportion. She wasn't like, she was nice, but she wasn't, she wasn't very attractive. I'm sorry, I just wasn't attracted to her that way. But me and her, would always go on a little break, and she'd always ask if I like smoked or anything. And just because it was that stressful, I just started like smoking like cigarettes, which I'm not proud of. I don't do it anymore. I haven't smoked or vaped anything for about like 2 months now. I kind of quit all of that. But during what I like to call my prime nitbag days, I would always go on a little cigarette break, and she'd always give me a cigarette, always lend me a lighter or something like that. She was really nice. But the thing is, when I was going on break, I'd be outside, because this was like November time, so it was like freezing. I'd just be outside, I'd be smoking cigarettes, thinking I was like cool or some shit. I'd just be standing there like real serious, real mean looking, and I never really like made any friends, and I never really talked to anybody there, because I've kind of like discovered something. I'm just naturally scary looking. Now, if you see me like in public, or like you see me, just in general, really, you'll look at me and you'll be like, fucking hell, stay away from that guy. He's fucking scary looking. Like, he looks like he's had a bad day. But to be honest, I just always look real mean looking. I don't know why, and I think I think a lot of my work colleagues kind of like avoided me in a way because of that, because I never smile, right? I'm not like a sad guy or anything, but I just don't smile. I don't have a reason to like smile about anything, so I'm not gonna force it. So I constantly look like I've just had a shit day, and like nobody wants to talk to me. But I can guarantee you, I'm a nice. I like to think I'm a nice guy. guy when you get to know me. You know, I'm a pretty goofy character. Anyway, you know, I think I was about like 4 or 5 days in. Oh, there goes my voice. By the way, like, please don't roast me for that one. I've been ill for like the past week. I don't know what it is. I think it's the flu going around. Currently, right now, it's actually the hottest it's been. It's, you know, in the last week. It's currently 3 degrees and it's usually about 0. So, oh, it's a, you know, lucky day for the Brits. But yeah, I've been ill for the past like week with the flu. It's been going around. So if I sound a bit, you know, stuffy, which I usually do anyway, then, you know, please bear with that. But yeah, it was a few days in, and it started getting really fucking bad. So essentially, when you're on the grill, not only do you have to do the in-restaurant orders, but you also have to do like the Deliveroo, the Just Eat orders, you know, all of that. And I kid you not, just on the Just Eat orders, on like Deliveroo and everything, there must have been about 40 to 50 fucking orders per shift. And I was on like, I believe I was on an 8-hour shift, and it was, oh my god, it was absolutely fucking awful. And you know, after a while, it kind of got to a point where for some reason they started just sticking me on the grill on my own, even though I was supposed to have somebody with me, and it all just became way too fucking much. I just said, listen, I'm gonna quit. I can't do this anymore. I was only there for a week. It's embarrassing, right? It's really fucking embarrassing. But I just couldn't deal with being on that grill on my own every day when I was supposed to have somebody. And yeah, pretty much the lesson or the story is, you know, don't work at McDonald's, don't work at Nando's. Just try to avoid that whole, you know, that whole restaurant / like fast food type of work, because a lot of it is very fucking stressful. It's a lot on your mind, and I really wouldn't recommend it for a first job. Now, something like Subway might have been a little more my pace, but working at Nando's, it was constant stress. Like, it was always just so stressful. I had to, you know, worry about my bus times. You know, you guys know how fucking buses can be. I had to get a bus to my work just because it was about like 1.5 miles, 2 miles away, which isn't that bad, but I still had to get a bus. And you guys know how fucking bus times can be. It was real stressful. If I was late, you know, I would have got telling off. They would have been like, oh, why are you late? And I'm like, oh, you know, the buses. And they're like, well, you should have got one earlier. And I'm like, well, fuck you. And what I've discovered and what I've kind of like learned is that fast food employees and restaurant employees, they don't get paid enough to put up with bullshit like that. Luckily, I never had any issues with customers or anything. Oh my god, there was this one time where these 2 girls were like beefing in the back, and I was just kind of watching on from a distance while doing my chicken, and they were just beefing about something about a boyfriend or something. It was a crazy fucking drama. In the back of my mind, I was like, bitch fight, bitch fight, bitch fight, you know, like, I was like, come on, like, give me some sort of fucking entertainment for my shift. But nothing, you know, nothing happened. But yeah, I never had to deal with any bad customers, but I have seen it like multiple times. You know, the fact is, they just don't get paid enough to put up with that bullshit, and I think it's just a really sad sight, and I'd much rather just work somewhere else. I wouldn't want to deal with that bullshit. You know, salutes to fucking fast food and restaurant employees who have to, you know, deal with that shit on a daily basis for like 8 hours a day. I don't know how you did it. I did it for about a week, and you know what? I couldn't put up with it. Anyway, it was a bit of a longer video today, but you know, my videos are typically getting longer as you know, the passing months go on. You know, got trying somehow, you know, milking those mid-ad rolls somehow, you know, like, come on, give me a break. But yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you didn't, well, fuck you, because I really don't care. But yeah, I've been writing down a lot of like new video ideas for YouTube, and I know I say this a lot, but I really do want to get back into it. I really do like making these YouTube videos. They're really fun. It's always good getting shit off my chest and just being myself. But yeah, I have a few video ideas down. I'll give you a little sneak peek. One of the videos I've wrote down is reacting to older videos, so who knows, maybe I might, you know, release that in the next upcoming week or two. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say, so yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.